We've arranged a society based on science and technology in which nobody understands anything about science and technology. And this combustible mixture of ignorance and power, sooner or later, is going to blow up in our faces. I mean, who is running the science and technology in a democracy if the people don't know anything about it? If we are not able to ask skeptical questions, to interrogate those who tell us that something is true, to be skeptical of those in authority, then we're up for grabs for the next charlatan, political or religious, who comes ambling along.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Allegedly Redacted podcast. I'm your host, Nick. The reason why it's just me right now is because we had a little bit of radio interference, so Watts isn't here for me to be able to record this part. Today's episode 1, is about the illusion of freedom and the illusion of choice and the complacency. So sit back for episode 1, and we really hope you enjoy and come back. Again, this is the Allegedly Redacted podcast. Let's get into it. So, fucking Valentine's Day is coming up. What are you doing? Or what did you do? What did you do?
Well, me, my girlfriend, went to Olive Garden. That's right, I'm name dropping because I'm pissed.
Here's the thing. He's name dropping you because he's pissed. I'm name dropping you because I love the fucking breadsticks. Send me a gift card. My kids love it, and so does my wife. Olive Garden, Nick loves you. All right, go ahead.
Now, what I have to say is, Olive Garden, you fucked me big time. You came there expecting a Caesar salad that made you famous.
Now, the fucking breadsticks, man. Keep going.
All right, came there for the Caesar salad. I asked for it. And they bring me some balsamic fucking ballsack salty salad. And they expect me to eat that shit.
Man,
it tastes like someone had gargled the damn dressing and then spit it on my salad. No taste, no substance. I felt like I was eating a Russian man.
A Russian man?
Right?
Bullshit, that has flavor.
No. I didn't even get a hint of Drakkar Noir the whole time I was eating it. So I knew he'd been chewed before. Because I know my Drakkar Noir.
Yeah.
But no. They turned their back on the Caesar salad. How fucking dare they turn their back on the Caesar salad?
I don't know, man.
It kept me thin. I'm going to get fat as fuck now. Not by my choice. You did this. You did this to me, Olive Garden.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, they did it to me.
It's fucking awesome. You know what I did for my wife for Valentine's Day? I cooked chicken wings, and now I'm doing a podcast with you.
Paid $70 to get shit right in my face. I was like, Caesar salad, please. The waiter, he was a good dude. I'm not shitting on this waiter. He was a great dude. He was right there by my side. He was just as surprised as I was when he read the damn menu. He was like, it's still on here? And yet we don't have it? And I was like, I know. Tell me, Reginald. His name wasn't Reginald. But it was at that time. Safety's sake. His safety. You heard him. Sweet. He was sweet. But no. We were both shocked.
Fuck, dude.
And I could just be making that part of it up. I could have never even showed Reginald the menu. He knows what was on it. But I was just hurt. I felt betrayed. And I still spent $70 there and had to eat a fucking Russian man's spit. And I didn't...
These fucking big old morning information promises come and drag the ball sack across.
Yeah, he drug his sack across that and was like, give it to them. We set him beside the exit to really piss him off.
Because we know that it's very cold outside. Like, why is there a Russian guy at an Italian restaurant?
I don't know.
Could have been like fucking Mario Batali just took a shit on your salad. There we go.
I'd really like to call Gordon Ramsay and get his ass in there.
Oh, motherfucker! I can't do it with fucking voices anymore.
I can't either. I could only do like certain things. Like
you pathetic cunt! It's fucking cooking wrong.
My favorite thing he ever said, man. I can't remember what the fuck he ordered at this place, but he went in to eat, right? And they brought it to him, right?
Yeah.
And he was just one word, cat food. No, one word, meow, cat food, right in front of the owner, and I was like, that's some fucking balls right there.
That's the fucking British Donald Trump. He just does it. Well, I don't want to say that because I like Gordon Ramsay.
I do too.
Dude, I watched the fucking thing. Me and my wife, we watched
him do the fucking British Marines. Did you know the British have a fucking their own like branch of Marines?
Yeah, it's like if you take the U.S. Marines and then make them pussies. I'm just kidding, Britain. You know your pansies. I also just kidding, man. You guys are cool. I really like the punk music you did. You really inspired a lot of shitty punk bands over here. They didn't quite hit the mark, but you guys did great.
Yeah.
It's because you're all dirty, and, well, that's what punk music's about.
Fuck up Gigi Allen. I'm gonna get some hate for that, but I fucking hate it.
Who's that?
Gigi Allen, he's the dude that took a shit on stage and thought it was music.
Wait, is he part of what band?
Gigi Allen.
Oh, he
And the
must have
Scum
not been that
Fuck
good.
or
I guess I wasn't really big into bands that were just like, yeah, my whole gig is I come in there and I'll just shit on your stage for an hour and a half and people will come back. Like, if that sells, that sells. I mean, it just shows you fucking the nation's whack.
The fucking nation's fucked up. I keep getting there.
Like Justin Bieber, I want to not like the guy, but he's just a kid.
Well, not no more.
Not anymore.
Have you seen him? He looks like a child molester. I'm sorry to say that, but it's fucking like he's got the little fucking pencil thin mustache, and he just.
Hey man.
Yeah, I just fucking stereotyped him, right?
You did, and I know a bunch of wispy mustache people, and yeah, I wouldn't ask them to babysit for me, but I'm not gonna call them out for it.
No, man, that's.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm in no way associated with pedophilia or pedophilia people or anyone who does that. I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. But
Dude, all right, now first off, let me go ahead and fucking backtrack there. You can't call them pedophiles anymore.
Oh,
they're
really?
called what is that? Age.
That ageism shit?
Ageism. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with ageism, right? Because I don't want to fuck any old people. And I don't think any children want to fuck me. So there's your old spiel. I've never once seen a child come out of the womb like, I cannot wait to fuck that man. Like, unless it's Heath Ledger, but that's okay. We all wanted to fuck Heath Ledger. So
It's sad.
it is sad. I never
weird.
got my chance with him, you know?
Oh, that's what you're sad about.
Yeah, like, I felt like I missed the boat on that guy. He was just gorgeous.
And we know, without even fucking thinking about it, I'm gonna count back from 3 to 1. Your favorite fucking Heath Ledger character? What movie he was in? Like, you could say the movie.
Things I hate about you.
Like from 3.
He was the coolest dude ever.
All right, let's count it back from 3 to 1. 3, 2, 1. Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, we're on 2 hours.
No, man, but
I only didn't. No, let me clear this up. I'm not homosexual. But banging Heath Ledger one time wouldn't make you gay. And the reason being is you take out your own trash, don't you?
Yeah.
Doesn't make you a garbage man, does it?
No,
it does not.
Think about it.
Exactly. Not in my words. Asmongold's words. All right? And he plays World of Warcraft, so he knows more than me.
All right, so.
All right? Now, I was only jealous, and I'm going to say jealous. Why Jake Gyllenhaal?
Why the fuck Jake Gyllenhaal?
Like, I like Donnie Darko, but I didn't want to see old Darko get banged out.
I like Donnie Darko too, and I like Brothers. No, it's not Brothers. Is it
No, that's Spider-Man.
No, Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, and Brothers, yeah.
I mean, he did pretty decent in that. He was, what's that fucking other movie? Jarhead. I didn't like Jarhead. Like, a lot of people like Jarhead. I didn't like it.
I didn't watch it. I was like, Jake Gyllenhaal in a war movie? Yeah, okay.
No, it's not gonna happen. Like, what movies he... Bubble Boy! That's what that motherfucker's famous from.
Yeah, and that's a
fucking
good movie.
Bubble Boy. I love
That's a
Bubble
good
Boy.
movie.
Like, that was my mom. When I was a kid, she's just like, she's trying to save me from the world.
Overprotecting and everything. I remember you used to come to my house and your mom would like call my mom and be like, who's gonna fucking steal you?
First off, motherfucker, I know you're full of shit. Because do you know what my mom used to call me all the time?
What?
Hey, you little fat motherfucker, get over here.
Oh shit.
I swear to God, man.
See, my mother knew I was a fat little fucker, and she was like, "Oh, but he's sweet."
I got more
and I was
love.
like, "Sweet ain't gonna get you laid, mama."
Yeah, I mean, my mom would throw a fucking frying pan at me, and I would immediately come up to your house, and your mom would hug me.
Oh, if my mom, if I'm telling you right now, man, if a fucking PETA could hear or knew what my mom is throwing at me, she'd be in the next Guantanamo.
Are you fucking labeling yourself an animal at this point?
No, I'm saying I've been hit with animals. I had a cat. She slung at me like a morning star. Across the fucking room. All over my fucking face. And scratches everywhere. I was like, what am I going to tell the teacher? She's like, you tell him you got fucking mouthy. And I was like, okay, Mom.
I'll tell you what, dude. I see your mom all the time. And I love her.
Yeah, no, and I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm really fucking sorry. Like,
No, man.
If my mom's hurt any of you in any way, well, grow the fuck up and quit being pansies. I'm still alive.
I'm going to tell you right now, like, your mom has treated me a lot better than you. You're fucking lying.
Oh, yeah. She loved you to death. I just don't think I was fat enough for her to give a shit about it. That's a complete joke. I love you, Mom.
But no, like, since my mom's died, you know, like,
Which is sad.
yeah, it's fucking awful.
And I'm very sorry.
A few years, man, shit happens, you know. But I was telling my wife the other day, like, because I seen her at the store, and first thing she said, I heard you did a podcast with one. I said, yeah. She said, don't get my boy in trouble. I was like, I'm going to try not to. Like,
Yeah, it's because she still cares.
but then it's like that's what she said. We talked for a minute, and I hugged her like, well, it was good. And she went and got in the truck and all that stuff.
Oh, if she has known how I procured information, I'd be on a chain. Yeah.
A fucking chain.
I'd be on a chain. I'd be like what you hear about and read, like, this bitch was locked up in a chain in a basement. Sorry, any ladies that have been locked up in a basement. I didn't mean to call you a bitch, but I mean, like, for the safety, not safety, to make this story funny, that's what it's going to be right now. So suffer.
Yeah. But yeah, like, she, I told Kayla who she was. I was like, you know, hey, was Watson's mom. She's like, oh. I was like, I love seeing her. She's like, wow. You know, because I don't say that about none of my other buddies' moms. But you know, all my other buddies' moms, I like seeing most of them.
Yeah.
You know, your mom's different. And she's like, why? I said, because she is just like my fucking mom. And it's just like seeing her again.
Yeah.
I love seeing her. I love talking to her. She's a wonderful person.
Now, see, my mom's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Now, most of you people don't know this, partially because, well, you don't know who the hell I am. And that's cool. But my mom was raised by the ghetto. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, she didn't grow up having a lot of money. She had to work all of her fucking life, digging trees, stealing trees, doing shit she had to do to get by with her family, right? So she's seen some shit.
Yeah.
She's seen some shit. So when she tells me something, I listen. Because otherwise, like I said, you get hit with a fucking cat as a morning star. Or some good shit where you get your ass beat on Christmas by your own Christmas, like your present is a weapon at that
She
point.
smacks in the head with an Xbox. Plank!
I wish at this point. At least I can make some money off Xbox. You know what I mean? But it doesn't say that you're not supposed to get hit in the fucking face with one. Maybe like, well, shit, just give them a million. Get the fuck out of my office. Take your goddamn demon mom with you.
But
I tell people all the time, and it's for the sake of this joke. And it's really just, you know, if I died tomorrow, I'd end up back on my doorstep, but I'd be confused because I wouldn't know if I was in hell or heaven or not. But my mom would open the door, welcome back, son. And I'd be, oh shit, this is hell, no!
It's like, well, I know where the fuck I'm at.
Yeah, well, fuck, I know I'm in hell, it's repetition. I'll throw another fucking cat or two.
You die and you go to hell. You walk up, and the devil's standing there, and you're just like, you know, whatever. It's like, well, ain't you scared of me?
Aren't you scared of me? I'd be like, oh, I've seen far worse, fuck boy.
Yeah. Your sister.
Put on your truck bed hat, all right? Pull it all the way down for this one.
Your sister.
You're going to want to pull it all the way back on your head for this one, Satan.
Your sister was my mom for 30 years. It's just like, well, oh, then now I know what to do. You fucking open up a door and your mom's just sitting there. Welcome home.
Welcome home, son. And she's like, oh shit.
Your
Satan, I thought this would be the only warm place where she wouldn't be. And he's like, there's no escape. And I'm like, oh, you're not Satan, you're an asshole. You invited her here.
I just woke her up. I didn't invite her shit. She just showed up.
She walked through the fucking gates and she was like, my boy's gonna be here soon. You let my ass in. And Satan was like, no, I ain't doing it. And she kicked the fucking door down, buddy. Matter of fact, I called you here to get her to leave.
Yeah, so you can go back to your life. But I was just in, fucking, I don't know, like I just got ran over by a steamroller. There's nothing left. Oh, that's your part of it.
I was like, so what are we gonna do? Run me over today? Turn me into a fucking tube of toothpaste? Gonna run me over with some shit? No. Today you're gonna have a full conversation about sex with your mother. And I'm like, oh my God, Satan, no!
Because you don't know what that if it was anything like my mom. Let me
tell you something about my mom. Like, I'll tell you a New Year's Eve. Just a quick little story. I invite a girl over for New Year's Eve, right? And I think, hey, I'm gonna go out and party with my friends after my mom goes to sleep. Well, she ran that real quick where she was like, get the fuck out of the house. I'm gonna get your daddy's in the bedroom. I'm gonna get me some dick. So I was like, all right. The girl I brought over looked me in the face and I was like, yep, thanks, Mom. You 100% cock blocked me. The thing you want the most, grandchildren you will never have.
Oh, shit. I'll tell you what the most fucked up thing was. Before my mom lost her leg, fuck, dude, Tyler was over at the house one time. And she was back there cleaning her room out. Cleaning the drawers out and shit like that. And Tyler come back there to fucking talk to me or whatever, because I was back there talking to her about something. And she threw some stuff on the bed from her drawer.
Yeah.
And there was this fucking dildo.
Oh, shit.
And
I got a story about dildos, too.
I was sitting there, I was like, ugh. And Tyler was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like,
call it out, you're going to bring it to the forefront. Oh, you're an asshole.
It looked like a fucking banana.
Ooh.
Like, it was shaped like a fucking banana. It was weird. I was like, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, what are you doing? That's so gross. And I was like, you're fucking nasty. Get that shit away. She's like, what, this? And she grabbed it. And I was like, no, get the fuck away from me. So I go to this fucking room, and everyone, if anybody ever met my mom, you would know, anytime I pissed her off, she threw something at me. Well, I went and sit down on the couch, and Tyler's still back there fucking with her, and just, I heard Dad laughing. I was like, what the fuck? So I looked back and said, what are y'all talking about? And Mom just fucking, shut up, no one's fucking talking to you. Threw this fucking dildo.
I imagine like some boomerang motion of a dildo.
And it fucking smacked me right in the fucking face.
Oh!
I was like, oh no, gross, what the fuck? I was ready to shoot myself.
Well, that's why you have burn scars. I see you tried to erase it.
I was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it was so gross. And then my mom walked out to me and she picked it up off the ground and she said, it was a fucking bachelorette party gift. I've never used it. Your daddy's dick's bigger than this.
Oh, shit.
And I was just like, oh, why? I was so fucking mad.
Crazy story, right? We lived in Ohio, right? And we had one of my dad's friends living with us. Well, his two little sons came to visit, right, him and stay over there for a while. Playing Resident Evil 3 at the time, sponsor me, Capcom. But I was playing Resident Evil 3 at the time, and I was just hearing background noise. I was like, it's getting loud. Not like my definition of loud and probably your definition of loud out there in the world right now are different. It's always loud in my house, yes. But it was louder. So I was like, oh shit, something's going on. Well, one of his little sons went upstairs and started playing in my mom and dad's room, right? This motherfucker came out with a light-up dildo that was spinning around. He thought it was a fucking lightsaber. He's been running around smacking his brother in the face with it, and he comes out. My mom's friends, who's the neighbor, comes over, and they're in the kitchen playing euchre or some fucking other game like that, I don't know if all of you know that. It's what white trash people, it's what we do.
It's how we stay complacent.
Yeah, it's how we stay from buying more guns or whatever, We're like, we'll play euchre or buy some automatic rifle. I think we'll play euchre tonight. But anyway, they were playing euchre with the neighbor and all these people. Well, here comes his son running in there playing with this dildo. Wow, spinning around, lighting up, changing colors. This little kid's running around smacking people with it. My mom's dildo. Dude, she's going to hate that I tell this story, but, you fucked me over a lot in my life, Mom. It's your turn. That's my only true goal, is to get famous so I can smear my mother's name as much as she's done mine. She's like, oh yeah, I want people to know I'm related to the reptile guy, K. You fucking stupid. That's what she says all the time. The government don't want that, stupid. And I'm like, yeah, Mom. Yeah.
It's like the government has a cure for diabetes.
Yeah.
One of those
The
things.
cure's death.
Yeah. Cure's death, and I wish for it daily.
That's what they don't tell you. We have the cure for diabetes. Really? Yes, step behind the shed.
Come on back. We'll give you 2
You
Mountain
hear
Dew.
one gunshot, the person behind it, that didn't sound so good, but it might have just been a shot. It was a shot,
It
all
was
right.
a shot. Now, what they do is they're just like, nah. This goes back to the complacent thing. Here's 14 fucking Mountain Dews and a fucking McDonald's apple pie.
Yeah, you're like, I read somewhere on the internet that I'm not helping my diabetes, the doctor.
No shit!
Where'd you hear that? No. What we need to do is up your Mountain Dew intake, and it'll counterbalance the insulin I'm about to shoot you with. What? Now you can have 14 Mountain Dews.
Yeah,
You better drink them quick before the insulin kicks in.
That's fucking, that's the only thing that doctors are brutally fucking honest on is if you're overweight. It's like, you're fat. You're going to die. You're going to have a heart attack.
I know, I had
you're
2
gonna get
back
diabetes.
surgeries, and after the first one, they fucked me real good. Lost, like, usage of my left leg for a year, right?
Yeah.
Well, then they come back and say, hey, I'm really sorry. We fucked up on your surgery, right? And I'm like, oh, shit. I know. And this little gimp leg is saying, yeah, you did.
You fucked up.
He was like,
You full shin or no shin, bud.
yeah, he's like, so what we're going to do with you, buddy, is we're going to give you another surgery. I'm like, oh, really? Because you mastered the first one so well. Like, and he was like, well, do you want us to fix it or not? I'm like, oh, gimp leg or another fucking, let Dr. Frankenstein play around in my back a little bit. I guess I'll let you fuck around. What's the worst that'll happen? I get into heaven? Like, I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, bud. I have no other option. I want to go back to work. So I take this next back surgery, right?
Yeah.
He comes back, and I'm like, I've got a lot of pain still and everything. Doctor looks at me, you're fat. I'm like, yeah. That's your problem. I'm just looking at him. Being fat is a problem? Him, for your back it is. I'm just in there, oh shit, who would have guessed?
Who'd have thunk it, right?
They never told me this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing stupid there. I knew I was fat. I knew it was the issue. But the point is, they are brutally honest about it.
But that's the only thing.
I think they like saying it. I think even if that ain't the problem,
They
they'll
look
still
at
be
you
like,
you're fat.
you're fat, aren't you? And I'd be sitting there, yes, I am. I know. I just wanted you to be aware of it. No, you're here for a UTI. Oh, shit. Then why'd you call me fat? Because I could get away with it, fuckface. And I'm like, you got me good, buddy.
That's about the. That's the only thing they're brutally honest about is they call people fat. It's if you're going, hey, I'm not feeling right about myself. Like I kind of want to die. They're like, well, you probably do.
Oh shit! Should I do it? No.
Here's what we do,
Help
though.
the economy first, and then do it.
Here's what we do. No, these motherfuckers are straight fucking American. They're not those. They look at you and say, oh, so I wonder what your problem is. Here's your problem. It's your husband. Your husband's the problem.
Oh shit!
Yeah, every time. Or your spouse is the problem.
Yeah, they just look for anything to blame right away.
Dump your spouse. Take all these fucking medications.
You know what I just thought? Imagine if you went into a psychiatrist's office, right? And you're like, they're having suicidal thoughts. I just feel confused all the time. I don't feel like I'm me. And the doctor looks at you because you're fat. Could you imagine that shit? Well, fuck, man. I didn't think my depression came from, eating Twinkies. Like, I like eating Twinkies.
Well, but you like eating Twinkies, but why? The question is because you have something that's going on with your spouse.
Yeah. Well, are you married? No, I'm not. Oh, that's the problem.
Get married, then divorce her.
Yeah, you need to get married, and then you're going to understand that you want to die. Because you're fat, again. And you should get a divorce because you're fat. I'm just sitting there, oh shit.
I never fucking did that.
Doc, I didn't think being fat was that much of an issue. Oh yeah, it is.
It's like going in.
You can lose 60 pounds, come in there as thin as a motherfucker, and then be like, you've lost too much weight. Now you're an asshole. You'd be like, oh shit, really? You'd be like, well, you're here in my office, you're not fat. You're an asshole. That must be the problem.
And another thing is you go in there and be like, you tell one of these therapists like, hey, doc, I don't feel right. You know, I've been through a lot in my life. I'm fucking sad. I'm depressed, and I just feel so alone.
Yeah, and then the
I feel so
doctor,
alone. And then the doctor looked at you and says, "You're alone? Yeah.
that's your problem.
You need a divorce." That's
You
one
ever
of the-
thought about divorcing life? Me just in there. I have thought about it a few times, Doc, but now that I have your reassurance, I think I'll try better.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. But I don't think I want a divorce. No, you want a divorce. You want to split your family up. That's what you want.
You have kids? Yeah, I have 2 kids. Fuck their life up. Maybe by their sadness, it'll cancel out your sadness.
So, get a divorce.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there. I think I'm going to get a new doctor.
And that's them telling the man that. And what they tell the woman is they tell the woman the same thing. Get a divorce. Your husband's a piece of shit. Take your 2 children and make sure that one of them, even if they're a girl, is a boy.
Oh, shit.
They do that shit too. It's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit. I didn't think it was that hectic.
It's like, whoa. They do all kinds of fucking weird shit, man.
See, I went to a therapist one time, right? All right? Now, I'm not saying going to therapy, like, it's good.
Yeah,
it's a
it is
fucking
good for
great
some
thing.
people.
It helps you understand yourself, which is really great. Same with, like, a psychiatrist and anything. I recommend that to people who actually need that. You know what I mean? If you think you need that, then you probably do need that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because, man,
Well,
everyone, we aren't in 1950, okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to look weak for going to a therapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though society would have you believe, like, hey, you're fine. Buy more things. That's the solution. It's not. It's not always a solution because it's not a solution.
Yeah.
It's a fucking problem. Then all you're going to do is kill yourself surrounded by all the things you bought. And you don't want that. Because then, guess what? Your family has to come in and clean up your fucking mess. Oh, boy.
That's fucking true, though. Really, I mean,
Zip up.
they push all that shit, and then they don't. They want to push all these medications on people too, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. So some people do need,
Some of it.
medications.
But
But-
if you're going to get medication, I'm not a doctor. Like, I would just recommend that you have that DNA test done, where they test your DNA to find what's compatible with you.
Yeah. And
Because, like I said, there's people that I know who've gone through that shit, right? Like, gone through some crazy shit, and they've gone to therapists, and it didn't work, the medication that they were getting. And then they would go and have that test done, and they'd find the right medication.
Yeah.
And it really helped a lot of people.
a lot of it, I mean, and I hate to say this, and I'm not an advocate for anybody. Like, I don't really give a fuck either way you look at it. But one big one that I noticed that a lot of people are missing, or a lot of people could help, could use, is THC.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of using THC to, help, anxiety, mild forms of depression, and everything. But also at the same time, I'm against it too because there hasn't been enough studies by the FDA to really help find the accurate use,
Strain, yeah.
accurate use of certain strains of THC, right? Like I'd recommend cannabis, not
Yeah.
cannabis, but
CBD.
cannabis oil, right? Because the THC is extracted from it, and all you're getting is, what is the other one called? I cannot remember at this time, but there's 2 different things that are in a cannabis plant.
The terpenes.
It has a certain name. It's like C something. I don't know it all, so I can't say too much on it. But and I honestly shouldn't be recommending it. I don't know about all of this shit, but there has been good uses for it and everything. And same thing with the FDA now testing microdosing LSD, like mild forms of acid to help treat depression.
They did the same thing with Biotin, or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Psychedelic.
The stuff that's in mushrooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
they tested microdosing for that too. there's a lot of good uses for things. I'm waiting for them to bring back cocaine and Coca-Cola. I'm waiting for America to get exciting again. That's the real problem. That's why we have all civil unrest. Is because
No one's doing cocaine anymore.
yeah, like the '80s were a good time for all of us. Not for all of us, but definitely Miami. Changed Miami forever.
Yeah.
Miami was dog shit.
Yeah.
And now it's awesome. Because cocaine still exists.
Sounds like Grand Theft Auto, for sure.
Yeah.
Rockstar, I'm name dropping.
Yeah, we're name dropping. Useless to society, so you should pick us up. So help us out here. Throw us a bone.
Yeah.
But the FDA's starting to lenient and test things out. Same with a lot of pseudosciences that were considered pseudoscience, right?
Yeah.
Like they're starting to look into it, and it's starting to change how we look at science, physics. And it's starting to change how we view our universe. It's starting to help us better understand these when we start taking what we deemed impossible and start making them. Just start adapting them a tiny bit to see if we could change the impossible to a possibility.
Yeah.
Right? And they're starting to find things like quantum entanglement. It was considered pseudoscience, right? And then they started really looking into it. They started putting mainstream scientists on researching quantum entanglement, and it's changed quantum computers. It's changed so much with what we're starting to learn about our universe. And I think if we took more time to look at the impossible and try, like I said, to just change, look at it and try to make it possible. Right? It changes a lot because we start to realize, there's more about our universe that we don't know that can help us understand what we are as a species of human. And I really think that's neat. I really do. And I mean, the word for it probably should be way above neat, but I think it's truly amazing. But I think it's neat that now we're using certain pseudosciences as a form of mainstream science. It's changed everything, right? It started proving some theories that we built a whole structure on, like our scientific structures on, starting to turn them on their heads because what we thought this was real and that's the way it was, we find out through quantum mechanics that that can't be real. That person would box themselves in by saying it only goes this far. Now we're finding out it goes even deeper. It goes even further into the understanding of how our universe affects us just as much as we affect our universe by existing.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a beautiful thing because it makes you realize, like Neil deGrasse Tyson said, and all these great, there's physicists, astronomers, all of these great, philosophers, right? That you're a part of the world just as much as it is a part of you. We're starting to come to that realization, we really are. It isn't just something you listen to make yourself feel good anymore. We're starting to get a better understanding that you actually do make a difference by being alive.
Yeah, that's there's one thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson says that is one of my favorite quotes. Really, is we are the universe experiencing itself.
Yeah,
I love it. I love that saying, and especially when it comes back to children, and that's really what it comes down to is the children, because that's the children are the future. So everybody's born a scientist. Children are scientists.
they are.
And we try to stifle them.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Because that pure innocence that a child is born with, man, it creates such an imagination. Two children who don't even speak a language yet, haven't learned one, they can communicate with babies. With goo-goo gaga, right? They understand each other, but we don't. Right? It's this true bond through innocence, right? And pure childlike wonder.
Yeah.
Now, I've had the luxury of just being able to live my life like a child and maintain that childlike sense of wonder.
It's like we see titties for the 1,000th time.
It's like you just seen them for the first time.
You know?
Yeah, every set of titties that you see whether you see them every night, it's like you've never seen a titty before.
Motherfucker, I'm married. I see him once a month.
I know,
I'm
but
kidding.
every time you're like, holy shit, titties. Wow. You want to call people? You guys see titties today? They're beautiful, ain't they? Like, children get that all the time, that childlike sense of wonder. You could take them to the zoo every day, and they're going to be just as excited as they were the first time they went.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's so
Like,
hard.
if we could view our world, as if we were children every day, like, I'm not saying, like, we act like children and go around and just start tearing buildings down because I wanted to be a construction worker or I wanted to play with a wrecking ball. No. I'm saying if you hold that childlike sense of wonder, then you won't take things for granted as much.
Yeah, and they do that
because you'll appreciate so much. Like, I'm not putting down the children of this generation. All I'm saying is, like, giving your child whatever they want, whenever they want it, it breaks that little bit of innocence because then they demand.
Yeah.
And when a child doesn't get what they demand, they throw fits.
Yeah.
And then now in this day and age, we just went and talked about our past. You can't throw a cat at your child. You don't like it, neither does, CPS. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, without people understanding, they create little sociopaths. Yeah. Little sociopaths who don't know right from wrong, and without you there to reinstate what is right and what is wrong to build a moral compass for them, they go out and they construct their own moral compass by the world around them. And if the world around them isn't a good world, then how could they possibly have a good moral compass at the end of it?
Good. But there's something you just brought up on that too, is that we're creating a world of fucking little sociopaths. But at the end of the day, we need to sit there and realize we're creating ourselves and our children. So doesn't that in turn make us sociopaths?
Yes.
Because we're trying to fucking teach our kids.
Because you'll know the more you read in psychology, like a lot, like everyone is born with sociopathic tendencies. Everyone, right?
Especially people who live in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit is. I don't want to talk shit about Detroit, but y'all gotta calm down. You gotta calm down.
What the fuck they even do?
You're burning tires. You're just fucking rolling them down the street. Your only export is burnt tires and old Chevys no one wants. Like, we need to move past it. Yeah. All right, no more Detroit.
Yeah.
No more. But man, if you don't set a moral guideline or a moral compass for your child, then your child lets the world set it for them. It's like sending a child out with a clean slate, right?
Yeah.
They don't know good from bad, and you let the world dictate what's good and bad. So all they get nowadays, they have the media, constant influx of media, just left and right, just hitting them from all angles. And those children, man, they don't know. They don't know what's good or bad. And if you're not there to tell them what's good or bad in the right way, and there is no right way, it's just your right way that lets the child know, like, hey, this is good. This is not good. Like, sit down, talk to your kids. Like, just hang around your kids.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
But that's a problem today, though. And you see that I'm guilty of it, and there's people that are far more guilty of it too.
Yeah.
Of just, here, take this fucking iPod or iPad, take this fucking phone, get the fuck out of my face, because I'm trying to do my own shit. And I mean, I'm not saying that I do that. I'm saying, if they want to get on the phone, I'm like, yeah, get on the phone. But most people, that's their fucking babysitter.
Yeah.
It's like, here, watch this kid on fucking YouTube who's 8 years old making 17 times of what I'll ever make in a lifetime in 1 week.
His parents are telling him, hey, you do this and you do this because we want more money at the end of the day. You think an 8-year-old has a bank account? No. Mommy and Daddy's bank account that he's helped have. Right?
And that whole thing, that's creating, by watching that shit, it's creating it's teaching your child. Yeah, it's a consumer. And you're exactly right. It's a fucking consumer. And we're teaching them to be complacent. And
because you know what? They'll grow up and they'll repeat actions that they were taught when they were younger.
Yep.
My child's a little loud. Put them in something, and put them in front of something that makes them quiet. Right? So they grow up, they decide to have kids because Teen Mom's on TV and they glamorize having children at the age of 16. You want to be famous? Spread your legs, ladies. Like, that's what it perpetuates. And then when they go do that, guess what? They realize having a child at 16 and you're still in high school, you got to make your choice there. Do I quit high school? Do I keep trying to do my schoolwork and let my kid be raised exactly how I was raised here? Well, Timmy, read this or watch this while mommy does her homework.
That, and another thing is, and we won't stay on this topic very long, but it's a fucking fact we have to get into. And as men, we probably shouldn't talk about it a lot, but maybe we do. There's one thing that they also push. Instead of being a teenage mother, here, come to this office. We'll take care of this baby. We'll take care of the problem.
Yeah.
And you have an abortion, and it's done.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that's in a lot of inner cities. That's all over the place. It's really prevalent in the inner cities, and they're pushing that agenda. It seems like an agenda that they're trying to push, especially when they put them in the areas that they put them.
Well,
in.
here's the reason why I don't think it's an agenda. Right? Yeah. Your government needs more people. It needs more economy. Little dollar signs.
Yeah.
And they know, just as well as you do, the more kids you have, that those kids are going to want things at some point in their life, right? And you're going to have to provide it for them, and then when they grow up, they're going to have to do the same thing. I don't necessarily think like the abortion clinic kind of deal is like an agenda pushed by either side. I just think the way it's portrayed in media really makes you sway left or right about it. Right? You're for or against it. But in reality, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect your life. Like whether or not this person that I've never met who decides whether or not, even if it wasn't a rape, they just took care of this child, right? Like, because I've talked about this several times with my girlfriend. I've never forced anything on anyone, right? But we're poor, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think I could afford an abortion, right? So, like in that case, I'd have to keep the kid.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to get rid of the kid, but I definitely can't afford to support the child. And knowing how I am as a person, I'm very selfish. My girlfriend, she'll tell you firsthand, she's very selfish. Like, I would not be able to sustain hearing a child cry all night because I can't. No, I'm not saying like, oh, I think this child is scream. No. I provide for this child. Would I rather have a child that, I could easily not have in the world, right? Or I could raise a child to starve and be angry and resent the world and possibly want to hurt people because I couldn't provide for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I can't provide for a child, like, I might as well be killing him slowly. I'd be starving him because I couldn't provide.
So is that why you practice? I'm assuming you practice.
I'm
safe
for freedom of the safe sex for sure, 100%. And it's to make sure I don't create any unwanted problems. Like, I'm not saying a child is a problem. I'm saying I am a problem.
Yeah, that's
like,
understandable.
That's what I think people need to understand about that issue. Is they're only seeing what the media lets you see of it. Like, they come out and they get ridiculed. Like, those women already know what they're doing, right? They don't feel good about it. No woman has ever walked into an abortion clinic with a smile on her face. I mean, some of them probably have. And I'm not saying they're the best people in the world. But I'm saying most of those girls you see coming in there look frightened, terrified, because they know what they're about to do.
Yeah.
Right? They know what they're about to do. They know what's going to weigh on their conscience. They know that in life they're going to have to deal with these problems. Most of them, what I don't like is that most of these places don't have like psychologists or therapists set up afterwards to help these women deal with, the problems or help them deal with the problems before choosing.
Yeah. So that's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good thing. That I think should be before and after. But to go back to what I was saying about the agenda, is that if you go to more rural parts of the town and more, higher education, higher higher, like lower, like higher. I don't know how to explain it.
I get what you're saying. Like, they put them in low-income areas,
Yeah.
and you don't see them in high-income areas.
Yeah,
You
why?
know why?
Yeah,
Because the media doesn't typically cover lower-income areas. Like, media coverage doesn't cover it a lot. So those higher-income areas where these women go out and get pregnant and stuff, they know they aren't going to be scrutinized for going to the other side of the tracks. No one will know.
that's fucking a deep point in this fucking valley.
Yeah, and that's but the agenda that you think they're portraying is not an agenda at all. They're hiding the wealthy's ability to get rid of children just as much as they are hiding everyone else's ability to get rid of these children too.
Yeah.
But because like you said, the media doesn't cover these low-income areas, so why would they build them there? So that way, the high-income people who need to get rid of these children aren't seen just as much as like they aren't covering those people there that are already facing like severe economic issues.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted to say one day when we were talking about this on Facebook, but I was like, I know whatever point I do bring across, I'm not trying to change their mind.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone has their own mindset.
Yeah.
My job ain't to change minds. My job is to reach minds that are already open to the free thought.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone has their own stance on everything because everyone has their personal life and they've dealt with things through their eyes. They've all dealt with things that I haven't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's been struggles people have had that they're the same race as me, right? But they've struggled more than anyone I've known, but I haven't.
Yeah.
You know? But those same people don't look at me like I'm some asshole when I talk to them just because like I haven't been through that situation and I don't continue to go through that situation. Like, I can't help how I was born or who I was born to. My family doesn't have the best name. You know? My family's looked at like they're pieces of shit in the city I live in.
Yeah.
Right? But my family is giving money back and help more people than you'll ever know.
Yeah.
But you want to know why? Because my family doesn't need you to know they're good people. Because we all know we're good people.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling this to someone the other day. They were saying, they're like, your mom's a bitch. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. But I was like, your opinion of her would change if you knew how much good she's done for, like, the community of Satan. Right? Like, your opinion of her would change. Because, like, you'd be like, well, why doesn't she talk about it? Why doesn't she put it on Facebook? Why doesn't she do this? She ain't trying to impress any of you into thinking she's a good person.
Yeah, and that's the problem with our generation, and that's the problem with the culture that we're going in right now. Is that is a type of complacency, and it's a pat on the back. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Is I need this pat on the back, like, oh, I went out and I fed the hungry, and I did this. Look what I did today, and it's that pat on the fucking head, and it's that serotonin intake, and it's like, oh shit, you know, I got all these likes because of this, so I'm gonna go out. And, you know, it's not a bad problem to have because you're actually helping people, but at the same point, you're not fucking seeing what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it because you want to help somebody.
Yeah, you want to see the likes at the end of the day. Yeah, you did a good thing. 100%, I'm happy you took the time out of your day to do good things, but why don't you do this all the time?
Yeah, and why do you have to bring a camera around?
You know, if you show one video a year of you doing something nice, we'll know, hey, you're doing something nice. We want to know what this guy's doing. We're glad he's doing this. And if you continue to do these good things off camera, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's like some of these people these days can't be nice unless someone's there to see it.
Well, another thing is that it's also kind of like a counterculture type thing that they see all these people, like all these stars and shit. They're like, oh, well, look what I did. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, they just they adopted 7 kids from Africa and blah 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 blah. And it's like, I understand that because them kids in Africa need the help. They need the help because they got a lot of shit going on.
Oh yeah,
but at the same point, there are starving children here in America. It's like, why didn't you help them too? You know?
Because it doesn't look good in the eyes of the public.
And that's the thing, is the people in the eyes of the public, it's like, oh my God, look at this. I'm watching these people do these wonderful things while my government's doing these shitty things and I don't notice it. It's like, why the fuck isn't that happening? I mean, I don't.
Man, to wake everyone all up at once isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because right now, what we're talking about right now is probably not going to change the generation we're in. You know, we'll probably make it to 60, 50, 60 years old, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this shit to try to change the world tomorrow. I'm trying to say this shit so that way, hopefully, I can get through to one person who decides I like the way that person thinks. I want to do research. You know, I want to do research and I want to understand what he's talking about. And then they go on and they run for president. And they decide they're going to change legislation, laws, you know, remove senators, remove some congressmen to make way for better people, for their future. Because in reality, the only reason I'm here today is so that way I can help the world in the future.
Yeah. Plant the seeds for a tree that you'll never see the shade of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone should be living their life. And that's why earlier I was like, I know I made fun of it, but those boomers who go out and insult that younger generation instead of educating. Like, you're not angry that these kids have it better than you. You're just angry that you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And you let that show when you go and you insult these kids and say this shit. Like, educate them on what, like, not having powers like. Educate them on what you had to do to survive when you were younger. So that way, they can have a better life than you have. Because that's what having children is about.
Yeah.
That's what bringing little new people into this world for tomorrow is about.
Oh, yeah.
Is putting your thoughts and beliefs into that child's head so hopefully that child grows up and changes the world for the better for their generation. Not so you could sit there and insult them for having it better than you did when you were younger, because I'm telling you, half of you boomers spend more time on the internet than some of these millennials.
Yeah.
And, it shows.
Yeah.
Like, if you spend all of your days on the internet insulting people who were born into the internet,
spelling shit wrong.
You're perpetuating a stereotype that you are no better than those millennials you're insulting.
And then you're gonna get the one response that you fucking hate more than anything. Okay, boomer.
Yeah, you're gonna get that.
Yeah. Yep.
Or the same with these people these women who are like, I don't think we should be called Karens. Well, stop being Karens.
Yeah, 100%.
Stop being an uppity bitch who thinks that you deserve the world, and if it doesn't come to your doorstep on the right 2:05 p.m. because the internet said so, you're going to fucking tear down the building.
Yeah.
Like, you are not perpetuating a good view of yourself.
It's like, all right, go frost your tips, Karen. We got you.
Yeah.
We fucking get it, man.
The reason you're labeled is because you're doing things within that label.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we as a human collective and it's human nature to want to label things around us. Why do you think the labeler was invented?
Yeah.
Because people are whack jobs. We all like to see what we're about to put our hand into.
Yeah.
Right? If I label one drawer snakes and one drawer puppies, I don't want to get mixed up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Like, it's simple logic. It's simple logic, but people, like, they lose their shit too quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the real issue with, like, the world we live in today. People are so quick to jump to the very negative thing instead of trying to find that bleak little tiny bit of fucking positivity in a situation. They jump all the way to the fucking bottom. I'm ready to dig myself into a huge fucking hole I'll never be able to get out of because I'm so pissed off at this time. How many videos do you see on the internet of people fucking freaking out about masks, right?
Yeah.
Like, I had a huge problem with people insulting people with wearing masks in their cars because whether or not Bob Todd's wearing his mask in his car, it doesn't change your fucking life, does it?
Yeah.
But you know what changes your life? You looking like an asshole insulting someone who just wanted to feel safe in their own car. Because it doesn't affect you. But you know what does affect you? Not wearing a mask at Walmart. Because let me tell you something, buddy. If I decided to come into your house and take a shit in your couch cushions, and you said, hey, don't do that, I'd be like, well, you, man, wearing a mask, aren't I? You know what I mean? Like, you don't own that corporation.
Yeah.
You don't get to make the rules. You follow the rules to enter. You know? Like, because if you're the type of person who doesn't wear a mask in a store when it says, hey, wear a mask to enter, You're the same type of person who takes his shirt, shoes, and pants off and tries to walk into a place because they have a sign that says no shoes, no shirt, no service. You get what I'm saying, idiot? If you see someone wearing a mask, it doesn't affect your life.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to wear one or not doesn't affect my life.
I think the problem with the whole mask thing is, and I'll elaborate a little bit on that too, is there's a very real thing where it feels like that they're pushing something on you. It's like, well, you have to do this. You have to do that. And, I understand the whole point of masks. The masks aren't for you. They're for the other person.
Well, I didn't wear a mask for 3 days and I got coronavirus.
Yeah.
The whole time I was wearing a mask, I never got it. As soon as I took that mask off, I got coronavirus. It's that simple. And you know why? I changed my view on that real quick.
Yeah.
Because I could have killed my mother.
Yeah.
Now you got to understand that. Most people out here in the world wear masks not because of you, but because of their people.
Yeah. And
They have people they love that they don't want to infect. They have elderly people they want to see tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're not trying to change your way of life. They're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
The same way you are and everything like that. And I know that's a hot-button topic, really, a mask. Why is this in the same spectrum, on the same fucking playing field as, like, Black Lives Matter? Like, masks aren't shit. You can take a mask off when you go home. You can wear one. Hell, half the time you can put a mask on while you fuck your spouse.
Yeah.
I don't hear either of you complaining when you're fucking each other and you can hardly breathe in those motherfuckers, do I? No, you don't. But I just don't like how certain trends, like I said, like the mask shouldn't be in the same light as something as serious as like people's lives, right?
Yeah. You know my favorite one?
What?
One of the memes that I've seen going around is it's a picture of a person in a mask and then someone that's wearing like a burqa. And something that's like, they're trying to turn us into Muslims. It's like,
I'm just sitting there.
like, what the fuck? No, that's
I love people like that because I'm like, wow, my reptilian theory, you ready to listen to that, guys? Because this guy made me look really, really bright.
Yeah. And, I mean,
I'm like, yeah, Bob Tyler's comparing burkas to mask over here. Well, you have him or reptilian guy to choose to listen to. I think you're going to take the latter and listen to a cool story about reptilian over some guy screaming at you about how masks are a form of turning you into a goddamn domestic terrorist. Like, you know what I mean?
They want us to put our mask on so that way we can go down to the store and they can tell us, hey, it's not about that, man. It's about mind control, dude. And that's the fucking conspiracy theory that they're going to think we are. Whenever you say, my name is fucking Watts, the conspiracy theorist, it's like, oh, this is what's going to get, and then they would start talking.
And it's like, oh shit, this guy's completely opposite than what I like. That's what I think I want people to do. Is open up with conspiracy theorists, and then start hitting them with like basic logic.
Yeah.
Like shit you can learn in 3rd grade, basic logic, right? And then they're like, oh shit, I think I'm a conspiracy theorist now.
Yeah.
You're not. You're just a logical thinker.
Yeah, you're thinking about it. And fucking Carl Sagan said.
Carl Sagan, beautiful. Everything he said. What Alan Watts, Carl Sagan.
Our intro today was Carl Sagan talking about that, and talking about the basically, if you can't question your authority, then you don't have authority. You have tyranny.
Yeah, and that's the absolute truth. Because if you're not allowed to ask questions, or you're only allowed to ask questions that are approved, then you're under a tyrannical government system. It's not. They're not there to help you at that point. If you're not allowed to ask them what happened to $26.4 trillion from the Pentagon, and neither has the IRS, then where the fuck is that money going? Because that could have been free health care for everybody for the next couple years.
Yeah. So, I mean, going back to January 6th, do you think people would have swallowed that pill a little better? The fact that there was the protesters in the White House, or not the White House, the Capitol. Do you think that people would have swallowed that pill a little bit better if it had been, them going up It's like, we've been shut down for fucking 6 months, and we've been doing this for this long, and we've seen you take everything that we've had, while all these other companies, with the PPP loans get millions of dollars, and we're losing our homes, and you're fighting over this, and you're fighting over that. Do you think that people would have been able to swallow that pill a little bit better?
People would have written, typed some stuff down of logical demands from this country, and logical questions, more like, not demands, because they don't have to ever give you any truth.
Yeah.
Because, if they would have went in there with logical questions, right, like, where's our money going when it reaches the petrol? Where is, why are we allied with certain foreign entities that own our banks? Why are most of our private investors of our banks not American people? And why do they get to dictate whether or not, certain interest rates go up or certain interest rates go down? Logical questions that they have the answer for, and if they didn't answer them, the whole world would have been, our whole nation would have been in uproar, because that's something everybody wants.
Yeah.
Right? But they went in there with this stupid ideal of, let's just get in there and shit our pants,
shit on Chuck Schumer's that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They went in there with this they didn't think they were going to make it through the gate.
Yeah, it was like, shit, we never thought we'd make it this far.
but that's what I'm saying. They don't have the right to stop, because that White House is owned by each and every one of you Americans.
Yeah, the White House, the Capitol, and all.
Yeah, it's owned by all of you. You all have the right to go there whenever you want. If we collectively got together as 1,000 unarmed civilians and just marched up there with a list of questions and said, we want answers for these, or you're all fired.
Yeah.
You're just fired because you're civil servants of us, right? And the people said you're fired. We're your boss. You're fired.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do about it. They have to pack their shit and go.
Yeah. But they wouldn't, and that's the problem.
But then that's when the nation would get the real answers they see. It's sort of like when you break up with a girlfriend, right? And she says, it's you, and just walks out the door, right?
Yeah.
You don't know why.
And you never will.
And you never will. You just have to accept that as a fact.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same as this. You go up there and you say, hey, you guys need to leave. And they say, nope, we're not. Well, you just broke Constitution. Now you have broken the law. And then we can look at our other civil servants and be like, arrested. They're breaking the law. To beat the system, you use the system.
Yeah.
Ask anyone who's ever been arrested. They're all qualified fucking paralegals. Repeat offenders are the best fucking paralegals you'll ever see, because they know the law better than the law knows the law.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they don't want to get caught again. Right?
Yeah.
And they've heard the system shit them in and out several times on loopholes, technicalities, and all this shit to keep you in a privatized prison system that makes money off of having that bed filled.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's what I'm saying. They work for you. And if they aren't meeting the demands of the people, they're fired.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And if they do not leave after they've been fired from a job, if you get fired from a job and you say, I'm not leaving, what do? They call the police. They call security.
Yep. You're right. You're 100% right.
And that's exactly what it is. The law is there for you. The Constitution is for you. And those congressmen, those senators, those governors, they're there for you. And if you're not happy with them, as a collective, stop being left, right, middle, and start being, we as people don't want this anymore. You gave it your all for the last, century, 2 centuries, and it didn't work.
Yep.
Thank you for your time. We respect your decision of not wanting to leave. Now the police will escort you out.
And if that doesn't work, then you can always beat them with the ballot box. And I want you to listen to me when I'm saying this.
Yeah.
You can beat them with the ballot box by not fucking using it.
Exactly.
and that's
tired? You want to see the real truth of this government? Don't vote, and watch someone get put in place anyway.
Yep.
Because they'll tell you that 1 million people voted for this guy, and you'll know they're liars. Because you'll all know you never voted. It's like the biggest trick. It's like if you think your girlfriend's cheating on you, and you have no proof about it, you say you found something on her cell phone. Watch her proof.
Yep.
She'll tell you the whole truth and nothing but the goddamn truth because she thinks you already know. And then you hand her over a dead cell phone, never looked at it. But thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we do with our government system. You treat it like a cheating ex-girlfriend, and you say, we never voted. And they go, yes, you did. 1 million of you voted. And you go, no, we did not. We played you. Now get the fuck out. Or we'll call the police to do their jobs for once.
Yeah.
Because, man, if the cops are going to beat the shit out of anybody, I definitely want them to beat the shit out of the people who deserve it. Like our congressmen, our senators. These people who have been sitting on these thrones for so many fucking years.
They're ivory fucking towers.
Yeah, that they've built $1 million, just like millions of dollars of bank accounts, Swiss bank accounts, all of the backs of you, the civilians. And at the end of the day, they will never let you have the same position or power they have.
And
so you must take it. And by take it, I don't mean forcefully. Like I said, you fire them. You say you're fired. And you have the police escort them out because you're their boss.
It's the illusion of freedom.
It is the illusion of freedom, like I said. It's like going to a play and picking between two outcomes. But at the end of it, you never picked any outcome. You got the illusion of choice that there were two outcomes, right? But they already had an agenda. They already had a plan for both of them set up.
Yeah.
So you picked to keep the king alive. King was alive that night. You're like, man, that play was cool. I got to pick out ending. No, you didn't. It's a play. They already had the ending scripted. They had both in scripts ready to go, depending on what you pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I completely 100% agree
And
with
that's
you,
what
that makes sense.
That's what this country is. It's an illusion of freedom.
And us bickering back and forth.
Of choice.
And us bickering back and forth at each other is not going to fucking help the situation.
No, it's only going to set us back as like a united people.
Yeah.
Like just these past year and like some change now, right? We've set ourselves back as a human collective so much in this nation.
Yeah.
Like just everything everyone has fought for has been deteriorated by the media. It's making you believe that we should hate each other.
Yeah.
But we all are scared of the same thing. We're all little children in this sandbox called Earth. We're all scared of the same thing. We're all afraid of the dark. All of us are. And none of us want the power to go out. But eventually it will. Eventually, no matter how much we procreate and we survive millions and millions and millions of years, you'll be able to look out into your night sky one day and not see a single twinkle. The lights will go out eventually, and you don't want to be sitting there on your last day saying we wasted so much time hating each other. We could have seen the world. We could have seen the universe. You know, we could have loved so much. And we wasted so many precious years just bickering like little kids.
And hating each other.
Fighting over toys that don't even belong to us.
Yeah.
Like,
that's beautiful spoken. That's definitely.
It's just the truth of what I believe.
And it's a fucking.
I believe in humanity. I believe in us. All of us.
And the great things that we can do together. I mean,
yeah,
if we just stop.
Yeah, if we just stop and come together and decide, just enough's enough. We go as a people, united arm in arm, like Martin Luther King wanted, man. He was fighting back against the same thing we're all fighting back against today. The system. The system that wants you to hate your fellow man. And there's no reason. They need you to hate each other. They need us to hate each other because we stay weak when we hate each other.
I got angry today because, as we know, Trump got acquitted today from his second impeachment.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm gonna throw this out there. I've been saying since the whole fucking thing started. I had a conversation the other day with one of my family members, and today my mother-in-law said something to me. I'm gonna get into that. But the thing is, like, I voted for Trump the first time.
Yeah.
And I liked it's because I got swayed, you know. I liked what he had to say. And then the second time, publicly, throwing it out there, I did not vote for Trump. I didn't. Because I didn't want to vote for Trump and I didn't want to vote for fucking Biden because I thought that neither one of them had anything to offer this fucking country. Because Trump had not done what he said he was going to do. Like everyone thinks that you have all these rednecks out there. He's pro-2A. No, he wasn't. He did more fucking shit to violate the Second Amendment than the past two administrations before him.
Yeah.
He did more. He fucking banned shit. But that's another podcast for a different day.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking listen to this pompous fucking dumbass talk about this shit anymore.
Yeah,
because he's not even fucking intelligent
about something he doesn't even understand.
Yeah, and I mean, that's neither here nor there with that. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna vote for George Jorgensen. But I felt this pressure, and I fell to it too. And I was like, I don't want people to know that I voted for George Jorgensen. I don't want people to know that. And so I told them that I voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking problem is that I see this shit. Do I think that Trump needed to be impeached? No, I fucking don't. I don't. Because impeachments are fucking stupid. If they're needed, then, you know, if like he does something that's like he bombed us for some fucking stupid fucking reason, yeah, impeach that motherfucker. Take him out back to the fucking woodshed, get rid of his fucking ass. That fucking simple. But I think that right now, this time and day, in our history, when millions of people are getting ready to lose their fucking homes, millions of people are going to start starving. They can't feed their fucking kids. They can't feed each other. Their fucking lights are about to go off because we live in a society where we have to pay for shit that is inertly fucking free. They decide to waste the time to be able to pass aid to fucking impeach a motherfucker that's not even the goddamn president anymore.
Yeah, and you want to know why?
So he can never vote. So he can never run again.
Well, that, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because then he gets to, on paper, when they write in the history book, he gets to be the one to blame for everything. For all the nation's problems during these times. You can look back on history and attribute it to one person. Instead of being like, well, you have 12 people sitting on Congress, what are their names? You know?
The ones who are the biggest problem in Congress right now?
No, have you ever looked up your congressman's names? You can get all of their email addresses. You can talk to all your senators and everything. But half the people in the world don't even know the congressman's names, their senators, like I think their governors. They don't know their names. You know why? Because it's easier to blame one person than have to track down 12 people and have to get to know 12, 13, 16, 50 different fucking people's names.
And that's fucking true. And the sad thing is it does make people hate so much. And it does change it. And that's one thing. It can make the most wonderful people be so ugly and violent. And that was the fucking thing. Is today, my mother-in-law told my wife, because my daughter decided she was going to message her on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because that's how they communicate. And, you know, my littlest one, she's just now learning how to write, shit like that. And she sent her messages and stuff. Well, her mother-in-law didn't respond, and then she said, I'm just having a bad day, and I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. Yeah. That's your granddaughter, man. Like, she's trying to fucking talk to you.
Politics
and then,
getting in the way of human life.
It gets worse, man. It gets so much fucking worse. Like, my wife's situation's a little bit different than other people's. I mean, she's got a few siblings. She's only got 2 other siblings, and they're very far left. Very far left. You know what? I don't hold that against them. And her mother's very far left. And it turned into basically my wife and myself are conservatives. I'm a registered Republican. That doesn't mean shit. But at the same point, I did vote for. I did vote. You know, I did vote for Trump the first time. But since she thought that I voted for Trump this time, she literally told my wife, "Well, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about Trump. I don't want to talk about religion. I don't want this in my house. I don't want to bring it up because if the president brings it up, I'm going to smack him in the mouth, blah, blah, blah." And then it just kept going and going and going. And then she said a few things, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant for here for a minute because this is what really pissed me off. The problem is that she decided to say, you know, hey, you know, I'm going to have to do what I have to fucking do. I'm going to get a gun and I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to protect the future of my grandchildren. Blah, 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 blah. Well, my wife told her that was, you know, hey, don't say that stuff. It gets you put on a list. You need to relax and all that stuff. Well, you know, it was her just being angry. And then she brought it back, and she's like, I just don't want to talk about it no more, and it's just stupid, blah 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 blah, and it's so sad, really, that in this generation and in this world that we live in, that you start to fucking hate the people that did the most for you, or that you should love your entire life, like your own fucking children. Like you literally class them all together because they voted for one person, and that is fucking disgusting. It's awful. It's horrible. And then the thing that really pissed me off is I don't fucking care that she said that. But what I do fucking care about, and what really pissed me off, is the fact that she said, "Well, okay, I understand. I was upset by talking about getting the gun and doing all that stuff." She's like, "I was mad about that." But, what I'm going to do is, in 2022, I'm going to hold the line. I'm going to make sure that the Democrats keep power in the House of Representatives and the Senate. And I said, you're missing the fucking point. That's the fucking problem. It doesn't matter if it was the roles were swapped. If a Republican was in the fucking White House and there was a Republican-led fucking House of Representatives and there was a Republican-led fucking Senate, you don't have democracy. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You're letting all the decisions made for the people of the United States be dictated by one party.
Yeah.
That is not democracy. That's tyranny, no matter how the fuck you look at it.
You could put it left, right. You could let all the middle have the house. It's still tyranny.
Yeah.
There needs to be democracy.
There needs to be conversations in Congress between one another on our behalf.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's what I put all my shit on, right? Once, take this into account. Say you're driving down the road one day and you see a family in a car, right?
Yeah.
Stop, and they need help. They just need some gasoline. The car broke down. It's the middle of winter, right? Winter's bad and everything like that. You're like, oh shit, I don't want these people to freeze to death, right? It's going to come to a day eventually when these people are like, well, what are you, for Republican or Democrat?
Yeah,
and that determines whether or not you help these people. Now, when political views outweigh human decency, you've got a problem, a moral problem, a societal issue that needs to be addressed that no one wants to talk about.
Yeah.
That is where we're heading to. When your political view determines whether or not you help someone in need.
Well, we're also headed towards that decision right now, I think.
Yeah,
we're getting, and the problem with that situation is the fact that where we're at now is, unfortunately, it's the conservatives that are getting that tied into the stick right now. I mean, and they can sit, and the left, like the liberals can sit there and say all the time, well, we were persecuted. No, the fuck you weren't. Not to this degree. There are literally people that are being doxxed, that are losing everything, going to jail just for being in an area, or getting kicked off of social media, and losing your fucking jobs, having your bank accounts fucking frozen, and losing your ability to own a firearm. That is a big fucking... Whether you believe in the Second Amendment or not, the Second Amendment was a right that was bestowed to us by our forefathers. And when that gets infringed upon, there's a fucking problem. Now, I understand there's some people that fucking don't need guns. I understand that. There's definitely a need in certain, some type of, no, I wouldn't say legislation. There's definitely a type that don't need it.
Exactly.
But the problem is that some of these people don't. They don't deserve to have the fucking guns taken. And that's the problem, is they're passing laws now, and this is fact. You can look it up. Everyone can fucking look it up. House Bill 127 is the biggest gun grab bill that has ever fucking existed, and it calls for red flag laws. And red flag laws, not just normal ones like, hey, the schizophrenic down the street who got fucking, who's got guns, we're going to go take his guns. No, this is fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry down the street who posted something on social media and pissed somebody off, and that person they're being reported, and then they're going, it's like, hey, my brother-in-law's got guns, and he has a history of anger issues.
Yeah.
And then the fucking cops are coming, hey, we're coming to take your guns. Yeah, right, motherfucker. And then it's gonna blow up even more.
At the end of your fucking public street with little children running around trying to play, right?
Yeah.
Like that, there's a lot of shit that's unnecessary. But also, I have this ideal, right? And it may be an unpopular idea because if your nation was well-to-do, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't have to worry about these problems, you wouldn't need to be armed. But also, you have the right to bear arms in situations.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have no need to bear arms if your nation isn't going through tyranny.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a need for it. Now, if your nation is run by tyrants, and most of your nation is becoming armed, that should tell you something. That your people of the people of your nation are scared of something. Alright? Now, that is what everyone lacks to see. Is when your nation becomes armed, what are they scared of? They are scared of the same thing unarmed people are scared of. They're scared of losing what they've worked so hard to build. You know?
Yeah.
Now, I like I said, I'm not a person who's for guns. But also I think there are certain times guns are necessary. Alright? And if you weren't a tyrannical government, you wouldn't be having a nation of people arming themselves.
Yeah.
Like, we have a nation preparing for war. Civilians preparing for war. Why?
And
That's the real question.
The question with that is, who are they preparing for war for?
Exactly.
And a lot of it,
and the reason is it's because people are scared.
But
they're scared of what they don't know, they don't understand, right?
Yeah.
They like all of these laws and everything that get changed every day. You know how many laws are probably being changed right now? Little laws that you don't know? I don't know either. I won't know until I look tomorrow, right? But while I'm sitting here speaking, shit's changing without your knowledge, without my knowledge, without everyone else's knowledge. And those people who are arming up are scared what's being taken from them without them realizing. And they're arming themselves because they know at some point there will be war in our nation between people that shouldn't be going to war
with each other.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Because, like, at the end of the day, like I said, there's nations out there who are gunless, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't have a need for it. They don't have tyrannical governments. Now, that's what I'm saying. If your nation is not scared, they will not bear arms. So that's what the question comes back around to is, if our nation wasn't doing shady shit behind, some veil, and we're all sitting in the front watching this orchestrated play go on, and we're scared of what's going on behind the scenes, and we're getting ready, because if you decide to come, we want to be an equal playing field.
Yeah.
That's why they are trying to unarm their people. Is because something is coming. Something you won't like. And they know that with your guns, you'll pose an actual threat to them.
So don't you think...
Because you think your military is going to rise up and start attacking people? No. Your military won't. You want to know why? Because Syria had this problem already. A bunch of political protesters were taken, and they marched on their capital of Damascus, I believe is what it's called. I can't pronounce it very well.
Damascus, yeah.
But yeah, and they demanded that those political prisoners that they were keeping in there be released. Well, they started shaking them gates pretty hard, and the government gave the okay to start opening fire on civilians. Then an all-out war broke out in Syria. And if you follow what I'm trying to say here is, when America stepped in, we didn't help those civilians because they were labeled domestic terrorists by their government. They weren't. Sure, they've done some bad shit, but you can't convict a few people or a whole people for what a few people do. You know? And they had all-out war over there. They're gassing people, doing terrible shit. You think America stepped in to help those rebels? No. They stepped in to help that government because that our government's doing exactly what they did to their government, and they had to shut that shit down real quick before it made national news. And it started making national news, and you've seen how quick that shit dropped off, didn't you?
Yep.
And the reason being is because it didn't paint America in the best light. Because you find out at the end of the day, your government you're supporting, and you still support to this day, is killing unarmed civilians alongside the Syrian military, because the Syrian military could paint the narrative that these people were domestic terrorists. But they weren't. All they wanted was the release of political prisoners who were journalists trying to spread the news about what their tyrannical government was doing. That's all that was happening over there, and our government stepped in and helped put a stop to it, so that way their tyrannical government get a new leader by the Americans, who basically got to pick a new leader who was just as worse as the one they said we're going to get rid of. That man wasn't killed for having the military open fire on the public. No. He stepped down, and someone else got to be in charge. Same guy, different face. To make the public stop its civil unrest. Look, you got a new guy in there. That old guy ain't in there. Same guy, different face.
So, in regards to America and them wanting to eventually try to disarm us,
Yeah.
do you think that it's possible that the reason why they've let so many people, that so many people bought guns and all that stuff, the reason why the government hasn't really stepped in? And I mean, of course they've stepped in somehow with the ammo shortages and shit like that. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That's fucking orchestrated. But do you think that they're pushing some type of civil clash between the American citizens?
They're pushing it every day. They're trying to portray a movement that's trying to get equality for African Americans. The media is trying to paint that and label these people as domestic terrorists, right? But like I said, you can't blame a whole people for what a few do. A few people do. You can't. But the media wants to paint it that way to make you scared in your home. So that way, when you decide that you're scared enough that you're going to get a bunch of these fucking white supremacists or whatever together and go fucking take care of the quotations problem, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they could use that as a way to say, see, we told you this war was coming, you should have let us take those guns. It would have never happened if you let us take those guns. And they're creating a false flag between people. So that way they could step in and implement martial law and put you under real regulation. Because then guess what? When you're driving home from the bar drunk, and old Bob Todd, who used to pull you over, who was friends with your daddy, says, hey, I'll take you home. He ain't there no more. It's a soldier with a gun in his hand and says, get home now, and you're drunk, and you ain't listening. You come a little too close, and he shoots you in your fucking face because he has the right to.
Yeah. For
his safety and the American safety, you weren't complying with the law, right? You think that, things ain't going to change when that shit happens. Well, you need to start doing your research and find out what happens when other countries implement military as their law enforcement. It ain't going to be pretty how you think it's going to be. It ain't going to stop wars. It's going to create more wars. Because then you got a bunch of militarized people who are just as nervous as the civilians there because they don't want to shoot anybody. Because, they're civilians. But they're also fucking high-strung, too, because they know they've been jammed the media down their throat. They've had Sergeant Dickhead telling them their whole fucking life, you have to kill, you have to kill. If someone pulls a gun, you got to do it. They're just as nervous as you are because they're people.
Yeah.
Right? We're all scared. We're all in the same situation. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can stop this. That's the real issue.
But realistically, do we think it's going to be stopped, or do we think it's just going to play out the way that they want?
Realistically, you want to know an all honest truth?
Yeah.
We won't be here to stop. The generation of people like us, the next generations after us, are being bought more and more and more, right, by technology.
Yeah.
In the ideal of new technology, right? They're as complacent as they come. And I'm not trying to insult the generation after me or anything. I'm just saying you're conditioned.
Yeah.
You're conditioned into a certain mindset and you don't know it. And you won't ever know it. So people like me will be eradicated eventually by time. People like you will be eradicated by time. Time comes for us all. And we're not going to be around to put up a fight with our voice. We're not going to be around anymore to say, look what's happening in front of you. It'll be a bunch of people staring at a computer screen, TV screens, iPads, cell phones. It's going to be a bunch of people who don't care what's happening around them, as long as they have that power to keep talking, keep playing, keep living their lives as simple as they need it to be.
So you don't think? Do you think we'll see this war? Like us,
There won't
me and
be
you?
a war.
Or do you think it's just
The
going
only
to
war we'll see is if we finally tell them it's enough. And it won't be a war. It'll be the shortest war you've ever seen. It'll be 3 hours of gunfire and it'll be done. That's it. That's if we stand up. Because like I said, our military is smart enough to know that we outnumber them. Alright? How many people have guns? And how many people aren't registered and also have guns? And how many people just have guns? You don't know. And that's what scares the government, is they can't trace everybody who owns a firearm. That's what's scary to them. It's because they want to know how many guns they have out there, so that way they know how many guns they got to put on the front line.
Yeah.
But what they really underestimate is the human decency of these soldiers. Soldiers don't want to hurt their own people. Soldiers honestly probably don't want to hurt anyone who's opposing them. The only reason they've ever had to fire that gun is because they fired first. Like, I'm not saying everyone is good. I'm just saying, like, we have diversity in our military. And we have enough people in our military to know right from wrong. They won't harm us. If anything, they want freedom and democracy just as much as we do because they're fighting and dying for it. Why would they kill the people they're fighting to save? And if the government wants them to do that, they won't.
Well,
They're going to put their guns down and say, if you want these innocent people to die, you do it yourself.
No, that's a hope, and I hope that's right.
I know that's a hope, but people are naturally good. When you go to the bank and there's no sign that says get in this line, you see people lined up for the tellers, don't you? Because we're naturally civil, but they want you to think we're naturally uncivil. You can't trust the person next to you. I can trust the person next to me when I walk into the bank.
Yeah,
He steps right in line just like I do. Because you know why? He knows he's there to talk to the teller. Same as me.
that no Jeffrey down the road is going to put the cart back in the carton around. I mean, so, but
I have a belief that people are good. We're naturally good.
And
as much as there are people who are assholes and everything, everyone lives in their own world.
But I also understand that. But when it comes to the whole fact of soldiers not doing it, like I want to believe that. But history, Strauss and Howe have pretty much proven that history doesn't repeat itself; it echoes or it rhymes.
Yeah.
And we've seen it before.
Yeah, but how many theories have been broken by quantum physics?
A lot. But,
A lot.
but
That's
at
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
point,
You have to start thinking about the impossible and thinking about it being possible. Because once you build yourself in that box that people only act this way, you shut yourself off from society.
Yeah.
Like actual society. Not that it's the construct of society we've made in America, but the human society.
but what should we do if we're wrong?
What should we do if we're wrong? Well, if we're wrong, there's nothing we can do. We've already lost. The fact that we're able to still talk about this proves that the world hasn't all the way back.
Yeah.
When we're not allowed to do this in your own home, that's when you've lost. So the fact that all these other people get to have podcasts and still get to view their opinions, whether or not they're right, harmful, or anything, right, wrong, harmful, we're still on the right track. And I think that's going to be the saving grace in humanity. It's us, ourselves. And it's the belief, I want to believe so much, man, I could cry about it, is that people are good. No matter how mean people have been to me or I see other people be mean to each other, everyone lays down at the end of the night and puts her head against the fucking pillow and sits with those thoughts. Right? We all sit with those thoughts before we close our eyes. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
And people naturally, they're good. We're good. We do horrible shit, but like I said, as a collective, we're good. And I won't let a few bad eggs try to change my mind about it.
Yeah.
There'll always be Hitlers. There'll always be Stalin. There'll always be Americas. There'll always be. But it's for people together and say no. Not in our society. Not in human society. We won't let it. Because, man, once the world loses that balance of good and evil, that's when you truly lose. And as long as you get to wake up every day and take that first breath, there's always a chance of it. You just have to be the one to do it. Like I say a lot, fate will only get you so far, the rest is up to you. Right? Fate will put you where you need to be, but it won't tell you the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's up to you. It'll bring you to that fork in the road and the next step, and that's up to you.
And on that, I think we're going to wrap this one up. That's some really good shit, man. We talked about some really deep shit.
We did.
And
We had a good time.
had a great time. And I can't wait for next week. Again, everybody, this is the Allegedly Redacted podcast, and I am Nick, and I'm signing out.
And I am Want, and I am signing out. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope you guys be safe. Wear your mask or don't. Just take care of each other out there.
All right. See y'all
Good night.
next week.